What is going on, guys, and welcome to the channel. Now in this video, I want to break down some advice I'd give to my former self back in high school, or if I had some high schoolers in front of me, because I was thinking a lot about my high school days recently and honestly just cringing really hard. But it's not the kind of cringing you guys are thinking of. It's not, oh, I did something so stupid in front of the whole class and everyone saw me. It's more of, I had so many opportunities in high school I didn't take advantage of, and if I had, then this, and that. I know that back when I was in high school, all I could think about was moving to the next stage of my life. College, the best 4 years of your life. And high school was just meant to just get you there. And although college will open up a lot of opportunities for you guys career-wise, I personally believe that high school is the most important 4 years of your life in terms of your development, who you're gonna become in 20, 30, 40 years down the road. So in this video, I just wanna break down some really good advice that I would give you guys, and actual useful advice, not just, wake up on time, know when your classes are, don't party too much like the internet's covered with. And yeah, there's a ton to cover, so let's just hop straight into it. All right, so the first piece of advice I tell you guys, and by far the biggest, if you take nothing else out of this video, just take this 1 point away, and that's to find some solid mentors. I know that sounds kind of stupid, but just hear me out on this. When you guys are ambitious about certain things, you obviously are gonna ask for advice to succeed in them, whether that's sports, academics, arts, career-wise, anything. The problem is that people you guys are getting advice from is usually either A, your parents who went to school 30, 35, 40 years ago, maybe even in a different country. So they don't really know what's good or bad. They're not a reliable source. Or B, your friends who are in the exact same place as you are, so why should you take advice from them? You want to find people who are between 5 to 10 years older than you, who are more or less interested in the things that you are. That way, when you tell them, hey, I have a plan to do this, so I can do that and get into this college, they can tell you, hey, I did that exact same plan or something similar, and it completely failed because of this and this. Instead, you want to do that and that. Or if you tell them, hey, I know you're playing soccer in college right now. I'm trying to get to that level right now as a freshman. How would I do that? My plan is to do this and that. And they might tell you, hey, scrap that, do this instead. That's much better. You need to get advice from people who know what they're doing. So as long as you have people, again, 5 to 10 years older than you, so they're more or less just two age groups above you, they've been through what you've been through fairly recently. They can give you the best advice possible. For an example, when I was in high school, I was told by, kind of my friends and my parents, hey, take a ton of AP classes, get all A's, play a sport, go to college, and you'll just be set for life. That's it. That's simple. Just do that and you're done. And that's probably just the worst advice you could ever give to someone in high school. And now when I'm telling my sister, who's 6 years younger than me, a different set of advice when she asked me for that same thing. I said, drop those AP classes, drop the sport if you're not interested in it, and instead take community college classes over the summer and after school. These classes are super easy. You can graduate community college before, at the same time, or at 1 year after you graduate high school. You'll save a ton of money, and that way you can just go straight into your last 2 years at an out-of-state college. Not to mention you just saved tens of thousands of dollars, and you have a much higher chance of getting into the colleges that you want to, because when you graduate from community, they accept a higher percentage of those people compared to in high school. And obviously, I can't cover every single little point and detail and advice I'd give you guys for high school, but if you have a couple mentors, they can help you with almost everything and set you up really well to be better in the future, so you can learn from their mistakes instead of your own. Now, if you don't know anyone 5 to 10 years older than you, you probably don't have any friends from that age group. Try to reach out to some of your friends' older siblings, maybe that cousin you talk to twice a year and just say hi to at the Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas. Or if you don't have anyone else really, then you have to go out and make an effort to meet these people. And that sounds super scary. That brings me into my second point I tell you guys, which is to get out of your comfort zone and to stop caring what other people think about you. Now, I know this piece of advice could apply to anyone at every age. Obviously, just focus on yourself. Don't worry what other people think. But I know in high school, people tend to care so much about what everyone else thinks about them. They think there's just a spotlight on them, just shining 24/7. And if they make any little move or mess up or drop a pencil in class, that everyone's gonna judge them and remember that till the day they die. And of course, I was guilty of this. I never did almost anything risky in high school up until my, end of my junior, senior year. And I get how this can be intimidating also when you're in the social media generation. You feel like everyone's watching you through everything you're doing. But really, you have to remember that nobody cares about you. Like nobody in your high school cares about you. You could pee your pants the first day of school in front of the entire auditorium, everybody in high school, and literally in a month, nobody would even remember unless you brought it up. I'm serious, nobody would remember. If you go through your photos right now and you'll find some cringy moments, back 2-3 years ago, if you asked your friends about it, they would not remember. They literally just do not care or remember because they're way too focused on themselves. The reason why I bring this whole point up, guys, is because to be successful in life, you have to do uncomfortable things to get to that success. If you're a real estate agent, you have to go out and approach people to, get them to help you sell their house or buy a house. And you're gonna face a ton of rejections. But that doesn't matter. What only matters is when they actually succeed. And that same principle applies just about anywhere. I know back when I was in high school, I wanted to quit the track and cross country team. I didn't really like the sport. It made me super skinny, but I couldn't do it because I was so scared. Oh, what would my coach think? What would my teammates think? What about everyone in high school? What would they think? Oh, I quit a sport. I must be terrible, as if anybody cared. And when I actually did quit my senior year, I started working out and I got, built a lot of muscle, built a lot of confidence. I felt so good. And I kept thinking in my head, if I just done this earlier, I would have been here, would have been there, would have been there. I obviously can't change what happened in the past, but I know that. Anyway, guys, I'm getting sidetracked there. That's just one example. All I'm saying is that you have to be uncomfortable, do uncomfortable things to be successful. So I know there's something you guys want to do, whether maybe that's quitting a sport like me, maybe that's dropping a class that's hard that you don't even care about at all, maybe that's starting something new, starting a business, starting a YouTube channel. There's a million things. I know you guys have them in your mind. You'll be thinking of them right now. Go out and do it. Try it out. If it fails, who cares? Because remember, nobody cares about you. They're always focused on themselves. All right, so on to my next point, and that is get ahead in your career. I know nowadays college is just like shoved down everyone's throat, and if you don't go to college, you go to some lame college, everyone just thinks you're a loser. You're gonna learn as you get older that college is not for everybody, and you can make a ton, and I mean a ton of money by getting a trade, like being a plumber, being an electrician, being a firefighter, and you don't have to deal with any of that student loan debt, or you take on very minimal loans to do some basic trade classes, which honestly you could just save up for a summer and get those done. I'm getting sidetracked here, but the point I'm trying to make though is if you do want to go into a career, get ahead in that in college or in high school. Because when you get to college, it is so cutthroat and competitive to get any kind of internship, any kind of work experience in the field you want. For example, I was a computer science major back in high school, and these internships, which if you guys don't know, they're just like when you work for a company, but only you're paid hourly, not a full-time employee. These internships to work at these tech companies, brutal. They're getting 15, 20, 30,000 applications per position. And how are you gonna stand out? You think just because you could just walk in with, oh, look at me, I'm in college and I got 5 A's in my high school GPA. Like, oh, you have to hire me. Why would they do that when they have 30,000 other kids applying with the same position with the exact same credentials? Get ahead career-wise. For example, my sister wants to be a doctor. So I'm telling her, go down to all the hospitals, ask them, hey, are you hiring any receptionists? And can I intern here? I'll sweep the floors for free. If they reject you on every single thing, go to the pharmacies. Hey, can I intern at this pharmacy? Can I sweep the floors? Can I clean the windows? Anything to get you relevant in that field. I know that even if it's something like when I was in high school, I could have just gone up to the computer science teacher and said, hey, can I just turn off the computers at the end of the day? Can I just install software updates on the computers or just clean them or just do anything? As long as it's somewhat related to the field you're going into, it's gonna make your job, your first internship or your first full-time job, a million times easier. So get ahead in your career, whatever you're interested in and think you might do after college. Find the closest relevant thing. Even if you have to work for free for a few weeks or a few months or that summer, it's gonna be very beneficial when you actually get to college or out of high school. And the next piece of advice I wanna give you guys is to find a meaningful purpose. Look, in high school, there are a ton of distractions. And I'm not saying that you should just be so focused on one thing that you shouldn't have any social life whatsoever and never have a girlfriend, delete all the phone numbers out of your phone to your friends. What I'm saying is there's obviously a lot of drugs, partying, sex, there's video games, there's pornography. There's a ton of things to keep you distracted from what's actually meaningful and will help you and give you happiness in the future. Your time is very valuable, especially when you're younger and especially in high school. As I mentioned, was the most important 4 years of your life in terms of your development. So when you waste it on these things, you're cutting your own neck later on in the future. And for example, I'm sure you guys get asked a million times by like all your family members, random strangers, like, oh, how old are you? And you tell them, I'm 14, I'm 15. And they immediately just say, wow, I wish I was 14 or 15. And the reason why is because they wish they could get that time back. That time is so valuable. You can always get money later on. You can always get all this other stuff later on in life, but your time is never coming back. So work on something that you're gonna be proud of looking back later on. Whether that's, going to the gym and building up your physique and muscle, whether that's eating healthy and looking back and seeing how your body's improved, whether that's starting like you're moving forward in your career like I mentioned before, or whether that's, taking extra classes after school at community college, or that's really anything that you can do that's gonna help you in the future. And honestly, if you guys have no idea where to start with this, like I mentioned, just go to the gym. That'll build up your physique. Start, working somewhere, maybe a front-end job or a retail job, hopefully something career-wise. And then just take community college classes after school or over the summer. You do those 3 things, you're gonna be so busy and so focused that these distractions, they're not gonna even wanna bother you. And the last piece of advice I wanna give you guys is, again, applicable to anyone at all ages, but it's don't compare yourself to other people. I know in high school, we live in a social media age where everyone's glued to their phone. They're watching what everyone else is doing. So it's easy to see that one guy who's getting all the girls, who's on the football team, who's taking all these AP classes and doing well, and is constantly thinking, oh, well, my life sucks compared to his. He has this, he has that. First of all, you don't know what's happening behind the scenes in his life, but again, why do you care? Everyone is at different stages in their life, and just because you're here today doesn't mean that you're gonna be here tomorrow or there yesterday. Even if you're gonna be here your whole life, he's gonna be there his whole life. Hey guys, so I'm editing the video you guys are watching right now, and it looks like for some strange reason, either the camera microphone battery died, or just some audio issue came up, where from this point till the end of the video, there's just no sound whatsoever. I'll look into getting it fixed. I think it's just the battery. But the point I was trying to wrap up was that you shouldn't compare yourself to other people, obviously. And if you do that, you're just gonna look up to this person. You're gonna reach that point or improve past them. Compare yourself to someone else in a different aspect, and just a battle you can't win. It'd be best to compare yourself to who you were yesterday, the week before, the month before. Ask yourself, how can I progress faster? But I hope that point did help you guys along with the other points I made in this video. Be sure to drop me a comment below what you guys want me to cover in future videos. I'm running a little bit short on what content should come up. So I'd really appreciate that. Also, be sure to give me a big thumbs up and consider subscribing if you guys like this video to see more of my content. And if you have any relevant information, just be sure to drop it in the comment section below. I love reading you guys' comments. So with all that being said, best of luck in high school, and I'll see you guys next week for the next video.